A very good day to my panels. My name is Calixtus Alvarius from BNS. So today I'm going to present my final year project 2. The title of my project is Hazard Identification, Risk Assessment and Risk Control for Lifting Operation at Condominium Construction in Sabah. So first of all, for my final year project 2 is abstract. Construction is a high-risk industry that encompasses a wide range of construction, alteration, and or repair activities. Construction workers are exposed to a variety of risks such as falling from rooftop, falling from scaffolding, and so on. One of the high-risk activity is operation of roofing tower crane. The aim of this study is to conduct hazard identification, risk assessment, and risk control for lifting operation at condominium construction in Sabah. For my research objective of my final year project, the first objective was to investigate occupational hazard that contributes to the increased number of reported occupational accident, injuries, and disease related to lifting operation of tower crane at condominium construction in Sabah. Workplace inspection was implemented by using hazard identification checklists during the inspection. Based on the inspection, the work activity were identified and hazards were also being identified. The second objective is to assess hazard and associate risks related to lifting operation of tower crane at condominium construction in Sabah. Finally, the third objective was to recommend control measure by using hierarchy of control on the hazard identified. The risk control proposals were presented to the safety team for further improvement. Next for my presentation is introduction. I have found several types of accident involving tower crane operation. First case is on October 2018. It was crashed by brick wall. The tower crane collapsed and crushed the victim while on the way to the 7th floor resting area. The next case is on July 2017. It was being struck by hook block. During the incident, he was doing housekeeping under the crane operation area. The next case is on October 2016. It was being struck by a falling hook, block, and load. The victim died due to a breakage of the wire rope of a tower crane, causing the hook block to fall and strike the victim. The next case is on October 2015. It was being struck by tower crane bucket. The incident happened as the 1.2 ton bucket filled with sand was filled by tower crane. The last case that I've been found is on June 2015. It was falling from height. The victim was fell due to a walking platform collapse as a result of this concrete bucket lifted by tower crane fell on the scaffold structure. So, as a result of this issue, the present hazard identification and risk assessment on the lifting operation will need to be reviewed immediately to ensure inherent safety is fulfilled and the risk of an undesirable event is controlled. So, for now, we are reached to the literature of my final year project 2. The tower crane accident occur most frequently during operation and handling because crane movement increase the chance of an accident. In addition, operational and technical factors are the leading causes of accident, followed by safety management, human factors, and the environment. If we look to this figure 2, we can see the number of factors that contribute to tower crane accident. First is human, the second environment and structure factor, safety management and site condition. So the most reported Construction mishap is a tower crane accident, which is dangerous not only to construction employees but also to the general public. Risk assessment is critical for identifying hazard early in the construction process, allowing an organization to develop preventive measures to reduce or eliminate the risk. The methodology of my final year project 2 is hazard identification, where the field observation or workplace inspection was conducted. And the second method is risk assessment, where risk matrix ranking was conducted by analyze the likelihood of an occurrence and severity of hazard. And the fishbone diagram will further analyze the hazard that was identified during the workplace inspection. The third method of my final project is control measurement method, where I would propose the control measure to the hazard identified using eliminations, substitution, engineering control, administrative control, and personal protective equipment, or known as PPE. So, for the result and discussion of my project, first is hazard identification. First, understanding need to know for interpret the risk is by identifying the possible work that contribute to hazard in the workplace. This study was conducted by assessing the hazard that is related to their working activity, especially by tower crane operation at condominium construction in Sabah. Figure 4 shows the classification of work activity related to tower crane at condominium construction in Sabah. If we look to this slide, there are several hazards anticipated identified during the workplace inspection, such as trip and fall, fall from height, flying object, exposed to sharp object, falling object, and unstable load. For my second result and discussion, based on the risk assessment conducted at construction condominium in Sabah, there were 4 most critical hazards found, which is in high risk category. The risk score of above mentioned, such as exert force with their hand, trip and falls, fall from height, and falling object during the tower crane operation are determined to be 15, 15, 15, and 20 respectively. For the anticipated hazard for exert falls with their hands, the tower crane operator used their hand to climbing ups and down the tower crane ladder for at least 3 to 4 times in a day with 30 meters of ladder height. The effect from this activity may cause musculoskeletal disorder, such as muscle strain and low back injuries. Hence, the severity of exert force with their hand is chosen to be 3, or known as serious, since there is only one crane operator at construction site and due to frequent climbing the tower crane ladder. The likelihood is chosen to be 5, which is most likely because this event occur almost every day. The determined risk score of event exert force with their hands is donated by 15, indicating that the risk is high. The second anticipated hazard is trip and falls. The tower crane operator climbing the tower crane ladders without wear a proper PPE such as body harness. In addition, the ladder did not secure with guardrails and slippery surface. The effect from this activity may lead to death and a back injury due to the sudden and forceful impact during a fall. Hence, the severity of trip and fall is chosen to be 3, which is serious, because it can be a bedridden for many weeks to the worker if fall from such height 30 meter. However, the likelihood is chosen to be 5, most likely, because this event also occur almost every day. The determined risk score of trip and falls is donated by 15, indicating that the risk is high. Next, the anticipated hazard is fall from height. During the daily internal and external inspection of tower crane operator, the crane operator is exposed to fall from height due to lack of railing. The effect of this activity can lead to major injuries such as broken limbs, fractured skulls, and death. Hence, the severity of fall from height is chosen to be 3, which is serious. Therefore, the likelihood is chosen to be 5, most likely, because it requires to conduct the inspection in Delhi. The determined risk score of trip and falls is donated by 15, indicating that the risk is high. Finally, the anticipated hazard is falling object due to improper sling angle and the hook did not secure with sling lock. The effect of this activity can lead to injuries such as serious concussions, brain injuries, debilitating neck or back injuries, paralysis, broken bones, and even death. Hence, the severity of falling object is chosen to be 4, which is fatal because it can cause death to workers who hit by the falling object and major property damage if the material load lifted fall. Therefore, the likelihood is chosen to be 5, most likely, because it requires almost every day to lift material or load. The second risk assessment that I've been conducted was cause and effect analysis. Based on the hazard identification and risk assessment in the risk assessment, the hazard was further analysis by using this method, which is cause and effect analysis. For ergonomic hazard, falling object, and fall from height, since the risk score of this hazard determined to be 15, 15, and 20 respectively in high risk score category. So for my third result and discussion is risk control. For activity of climbing a ladder with 30-meter height to reach to the tower crane operation cabin, there were 2 hazard categories under high category. For ergonomic hazard involving falls with their hands while climbing the hazard crane ladder twice in a day, it was proposed that ladder raise platform is installed and training of ergonomics such as stretching the muscle shall be introduced. Meanwhile, for slip, trip, and fall hazard, it was proposed that for substitution control measure, the existing ladder can be substituted with passenger hoist. Ladder guardrail can also be installed for engineering control. Operator can be trained using 3-point contact rule, and sticker notification can be pasted on the ladder crane for administrative control. And safety body harness must be compulsory for provincial PPE. For activity of crane operator conduct daily internal and external inspection of tower crane which can expose to hazard fall from height, all edges must be installed with guardrail and safe walk practice must be established with provisional of body harness. Meanwhile, for psychological hazard, simple checklist form to the crane operator can be provided and simple routine exercise before work starting can be done. And finally, we are reached to the conclusion of my final year project 2. Workplace inspection was implemented by using hazard identification checklist during the inspection. Based on the inspection, the work activity were identified and hazard were also being identified. Conducting risk assessment on the hazard identified using risk metric, it was found that there were 4 hazards involving 4 activities category under high level of risk. By using hierarchy of control on the hazard identified, the risk control proposed were presented to the safety team for further improvement. That that's all for my presentation of final year project 2. Thank you.